Hey everybody, hello Maine, hello fire dancers. Gregor here, and I wanted to say hello more than anything else. I missed you guys. It's been quite an adventure since I left. The world has been very polarized for me. Lots of growth, lots of experiences, lots of craziness. I'm learning new things every day. Anyways, it seems like there's the same cycles that's been going on with the fire dancing, and I wanted to help try to remedy this situation, remind people of my original intent that I seed the collective with, and just also my 2 cents and my love and gratitude for all of you is, well, let me start with a story. 3 nights ago, it was 3 nights ago, I was hanging out by the fire. I'm in Huntsville, Alabama, by the way. Soon to return to Asheville, North Carolina, and then hopefully back to Maine. I was out by the fire with this 5-year-old girl, Maya, and she was picking up probably like a 5-foot-long stick. It was a long stick, and had been charred pretty good on the end. It had a good flame coming off it, and she was swinging around in front of her. I sat there and I watched her and let her play. I didn't say anything. I didn't interrupt her. You let these crystal children experience reality and not reprogram them, and creativity just flows out of them. And so that's exactly what was going on. But then she started to lift it up above her head, and it was a pretty weak end on the piece. It could snap off, and I was just like, Maya, you should set the stick below your, not over your head. You could catch your hair on fire. She's like, oh, and sets it down, and I was like, she's like, and then it like snaps off. She's like, oh, that could have fallen on my head. I was like, yeah. And I was like, you could set your hair on fire. And it's like, you can. And then we started talking because she'd seen me fire dance already. And I was like, well, as I say when it comes to fire, play with fire, but respect the fire. And that's one of the big things about the elements is understanding them and respecting them and their power. Water gives us life. Water can also take away life. Fire gives us warmth, but at the same time it can cause destruction. They all have polar reflections, and so with that, my idea with the collective is it's not a performing group, which is what a lot of people thought originally. That is a simple way I've been saying it lately. It's been more of a boundary layer between Maine fire dancers and our First Amendment rights, to perform, especially publicly, like in Tommy's Park, because a lot of other places it's now frowned on or illegal because of previous mistakes. So, as many of you are knowing, I'm trying to get this whole self-sustainable community project up and going. So what I'm doing here in Alabama and Asheville is going to be a real powerhouse, and up in Maine, I'm working with the Appalachian Mountains from Alabama and Georgia all the way up to New York and Maine, trying to get these grid lines up and going, help Mother Earth breathe again, with understanding how to create synthetic trees. Whole crazy physics behind it, and I'm loving it. It's a blast. We're gonna start building some Tesla stuff, and some cool things are gonna manifest. And so yeah, it's about community. There's a lot of community involved in this. But as I usually say, if I had to be named any of my political affiliations, it's a communal anarchist. And to me, anarchy, the heart of it, is being personally responsible, because we don't need governments. Governments is when we can't trust other people. I want to trust all of you. I love all of you. And with that, though, you have to be personally responsible. That's sort of the midpoint between Democrats and Republicans. I want to help other people, which is with a Democratic point of view, being very social programs. While the Republican, it's conservative. It's I want my borders, I want my world, and I don't want you to fuck with it. And really need to find a midpoint with it. And that's personal responsibility, not safety. And there's a lot of things that have happened in Tommy Park that have jeopardized safety. I've seen it firsthand. I've been injured because of other people's mistakes, and it's a repetitive process, and it's a process that could ultimately end performing at Tommy's Park. There needs to be a higher level of professionalism when it's such a public saying. That is the truth. Before I started the Maine Fire Dancing Collective, right before I started it, this was never a problem in terms of safety, because the few performers who were out there were all personally responsible. Incidents were rare, but now they're an epidemic because of the amount of people performing. That's why I started the collective, is because I saw the potential of where fire dancing could become illegal in Portland. Okay? That's what I'm trying to prevent. This whole thing I was trying to prevent, and thus also the rest of the state. And so far, fire dancing has had a good name in the state, and I would like to see that maintained as a bunch of other people. There's a bunch of old school burners and really skilled burners who aren't coming to the burns now because of how safety has been gone about. And so, in terms of being personally responsible, when you use a toy, make sure your toy is safe and you're comfortable using that toy. Because if you're not comfortable, guess what? The audience isn't going to be comfortable. Because, well, a big focus I am trying to do is, it's being a light worker in this transition in consciousness we're all going through. And fire dancing reflects heavily on that. You're learning how to dance with vortices, dance with kinetic motion, and move energy like never before. It's a fantastic power. It's something that needs to be respected. And with that, you control the audience's intent and whim, at your hand, in terms of how you want to manipulate it, and usually in a positive, loving way. But you can easily create fear. You're dancing in a vortex. You're amplifying this energy. And you can amplify fear very easily when the crowd sees you uncomfortable with your toy, or when you make serious, mistakes. Not like, messing up a trick, but making a serious mistake. There's just certain things that we really have to focus on to prevent. There's things that are such big potentials that can take off. Just dipping, your toy into the buckets and just lifting them out and walking to the staging area and laying them. You're just dripping a trail of flaming material. One of the worst things that can happen, and I've seen this happen, is the fuel dump light on fire. We have safety protocols in place to stop that from happening, but it can get bad. I've seen it get bad. It's completely preventable as long as people try to work together and really try to follow safety. And the big thing is with virgin burners, teach them safety. They need to be taught safety. Otherwise, incidents will happen. Right before I left, there was an incident because of lack of communication in terms of safety. Not cool. Okay, I want everyone to have fun, but we don't want to start getting in the third-degree burn zone. I've only seen one third-degree burn in my years of fire dancing. Okay, I don't want to see one again. I don't want to hear one again. They don't need to happen. It's inexcusable. We're adults here playing with fire. We're professionals. Let's do this right. Let's maintain this art. To me, so many people see this as like a martial art, and with a martial art, like, there's a level of respect. You're being handed a lightsaber, you Jedi. Okay? So follow the code, and the code's simple. And just please be personally responsible. And so right before I left, we sat down, a few of us, and talked. This is what needs to happen. One or two people can't be running the show. And it's as it is a communal effort. And that means listening to everyone, communicating with everyone, taking everyone's perspectives into consideration. It's the only way communication and groups work. Okay, I wish I could be there right now facilitating this, but problem with me, I facilitate a lot of projects all the time, and this one's pretty big right now, and is a priority for me. So much of a priority that I have to be away from my friends and family, especially Claudia. So if you guys can give, plenty of extra hugs to Claudia for me, that would be awesome, because she's really missing me, and I'm off, you could say, on a spiritual mission and having to make some sacrifices, so work with me. Anyways, yeah, get together. Start organizing like a meeting once a week, or every 2 weeks would be great. To just sit down and talk about what's going on, events, how fire dancers can participate, teaching, anything. And just be even cool just to sit at local sprouts and just shoot the shit. Problem I always have with fire dancing is sometimes there's not enough, non-fire socialization. I mean, I love getting into metaphysics and philosophy, and there's so many other cool things to talk about. And local sprouts is a nice little local vortex to facilitate that sort of thing. So what I would say, instead of dealing with bickering, especially over Facebook. Go plan a meeting, go sit down at local Sprouts. I wish I could be there, you guys. So I'm just sending my love and my 2 cents, and really hope the fire family is kicking and going and doing their share of the light work, because what you guys are doing are creating vortexes, and vortexes amplify intent, and so put love into that intent, not fear. It's it's a double-bladed sword. Just learn to yield it right, and you can manifest some really, really cool things. So I miss you guys. I miss all of you, and I hope you send me your loving intent to help some things manifest, and I can get the flow, moving from here to home, and some cool things are gonna start happening. Some really cool things are gonna start happening. I can't stop smiling about it. So smile with me, and let's have some fun. We're about to enter in some very, very epic times, and so dance, dance, and more dance. Namaste, my friends. Ciao.